Good morning. Good morning. Today is April 14th. Good morning and welcome to another history lesson. Good morning. I want to welcome all you to ancient Greek history. One moment while we get started. Please take a look at the slide. Look at the essential question, the learning intention, the success criteria in red. Then take a moment and read the weekly tasks, beginning with number one. Here, that's the first task. First thing you gotta do. Number two here. And number three, achieve 3,000 every week, 100%. Here we go. Three. All right. Tough Times on Easter Island is the name of this week's article. Alrighty. In a second, I will begin to review this information, number one and two, using the Google Doc. So get that ready. Here we go. I'll give you guys 1 second to pull this up. I'm on top of the world. Baby girl, can't you see? I found my perfect girl. I wanna make you my queen. Time and time again, I can be feeling real sad. Cause mi sueño no se ha hecho una realidad. Pero tiempo dirá. If we gon' spend our lives together, lo que el mundo gira. I promise I don't want nobody else to be around me but you. And nobody's touching, nobody's lips can make me feel like yours do. Our hands interlock, nuestros labios se conocen, nuestra noche es corta pero hermosa will be okay. Alright, welcome back. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Pause that. All right, to continue and to go over ancient Greece and what I've learned so far about the early people of this area, the Minoans and the Mycenaeans, right? They were actually pretty close. They learned from one another. The Mycenaean group came from Central Asia, which basically would be like if you're traveling from Europe to China, for example, or Russia, right? You're going to cross all of Europe and Central Asia and till you reach like the Far East, which is basically China. Both of these civilizations did have palaces. They were discovered by archaeologists, right? I learned that both, so that's something else they have in common. In For this one here, they built the palace at Knossos. That's Knossos is on an island, right? And that's what the Minoans are known for. They're known as island civilizations. So that's where they were located, on the islands of Greece. In I learned that the Mycenaeans, each king lived in a palace built on a hill. Okay. An archaeologist discovered ruins of one of their palaces. Actually, that happened in both situations. Palaces were found, so that means they were pretty organized. If I had a social classes, right, where they had kings and then government officials, priests, things like that. Next, artisans and workers made their leather goods, jars, swords, and shields in palaces that were centers of production and government. That was the Mycenaeans. Their ships patrolled the eastern Mediterranean Sea to protect their trading ships from pirates. That was the Minoans. They were skilled in metalwork. Those were the Mycenaeans, and that was because they learned from other groups of people. They were called the Dorians. And then they fought in the Trojan War. Um, and that was the Mycenaeans, and I thought that was really cool. I did not know that. That was new to me. It reminds me of the movie with Brad Pitt where he plays Achilles. Um, it's part of our larger story of the Odyssey and another Greek hero called Odysseus. That's something you'll learn about in high school. So, but I'll try to show you guys some videos. I'll post them on Google Classroom. To continue, number 8 was the last part of this section. Actually, I think there's more. Oh no, okay, right here. This is the last part here. A mainland civilization. It says I have to circle the basically the true statement, because that's what I read all three of them, and it basically breaks down to being a true or false question here. Um, it says the Mycenaean civilization learned from the Minoan civilization. That was true. It was first the Minoans, and then the Mycenaean people came afterwards. After the Minoans had already been gone, long gone, and then the Mycenaeans rose in the area after them because they migrated there from Central Asia. Number 2 was false. The Minoan and Mycenaean civilizations collapsed because of a dark age. It wasn't a dark age for both of them. It was the Mycenaeans had a dark age, and I wrote down what that means here in red. If a group of people go through a dark age, basically you'll see all the same signs, and here are the signs of a dark age. Trade slows down. Most people are poor. Business comes to a stop. So artisans are making fewer things. There's no trade happening. So there usually is caused by war or disease. Most often it's disease. No writings, creativity. It all stops. People don't are not in a creative mind state. Farmers grew less food. Basically, it's almost like the whole world comes to a stop, kind of like what we're going through now. But there's it's not as bad, of course, because we got technology now, we got medicines now that they didn't have back in these times. All right. Okay. So that is the end of that lesson. If you do have any questions, again, email me. Feel free to do that. Um, if not, make sure you complete the document here. You can pause this video and stop it, and then here as well. All right. And that's this week's lesson. Tomorrow I will go live. I will post the link um, in Google Classroom, and I hope you can join me. All right. Until then, nos vemos y hasta luego.